Welcome back to Anxiety Makes Me Poop. I clearly have a lot to say because here is another one on the same day. Holy cow. Miss you, Cass. I don't know if you're going to listen tonight because you're sick. But anyways, I'll see you next week. But let's talk about when your brain picks a villain. Have you ever noticed how your brain will pick one person and decide, yep, they're the problem. They're the reason everything is going wrong. And listen, sometimes that person actually did do something wrong. Sometimes they absolutely deserve the blame. But when your brain takes it a step further and turns it into a full-time villain that you think about all the time, that's the problem. And that's what we're talking about today. Our brains love efficiency. They want things to make sense quickly. So instead of holding complexity, like, mixed emotions, unfinished conversations, multiple factors, our brains streamline the story. They pick one person and say, this is the source. This is the person. And once that happens, once your brain looks at that one person to blame and to make that full-time villain, everything constantly routes back to them. Maybe you're in a bad mood. It's because of them. You're exhausted. It's their fault. You feel off, maybe for no reason, or you didn't sleep on a random Tuesday night. Somehow, still them. Psychologically, this is your nervous system trying to reduce uncertainty. When something feels unresolved or painful, the body looks for control. Oof, and man, am I someone like that. I need control at all times. I don't like anybody speaking for me. I don't like anybody doing anything for me. It has been something I have been working on for years now. Focusing on one person gives your brain a sense of order. It feels easier to be mad at someone than to sit with disappointment, grief, maybe some discomfort of not having closure. Like, oh, we can't get that done. It's because of them. Oh, we can't get this completed. It's because of them. Oh, I don't feel good. It's because of them. Here's the problem. Your body doesn't know the difference between thinking about that person and actually being in danger. So every time you replay the story, every time you mentally argue with them or rewrite your conversations or imagine what you should have said, or if they say this, I'm going to say this, and if they say this, I'm going to respond with this, your stress response turns on every single time you do that. Maybe your heart starts racing, your shoulders come up, your muscles tense, maybe your stomach starts turning and it either slows down or speeds up. Oh, mine speeds up. Anxiety makes me poop. Your body prepares for a threat that isn't truly physically in front of you. That's why these thoughts don't just ruin a moment. They can ruin your entire day. They can ruin a week. They can ruin every conversation that you have with people. They can make you feel physically sick. Maybe you get headaches, stomach aches. Maybe you're exhausted. Oh my gosh. There was a year that someone bothered me and I was exhausted all year. And I remember looking back going, what have you done to yourself? It's not all in your head. It's in your nervous system being activated over and over again, this exhaustion. The thought process is in your head, but the way that you're making your body feel, it's not good. Not good, all right? What makes this especially sneaky is that it feels productive. It feels like you're solving something. And then you bring people in and you say, listen, I saw what they did and I got to tell you that, and it just causes this ripple effect. But rumination isn't problem solving. It's your nervous system pacing in circles, looking for safety and never finding it. What's the worst part? The person you're focused on is definitely not thinking about you at all. We're just going to say it. I wrote down probably, but they ain't thinking about you. But meanwhile, your body is acting like it's on this high alert, burning all this energy, ruining your mood, hijacking your peace and your sleep. So how do we stop giving this person so much power? How do we just go, I am not going to think about you anymore? We have to notice when our brain is streamlining or when our brain is doing this. When you're focusing on that person, my day is ruined because of that person. When the same person keeps popping up as the explanation for everything going wrong, it's a cue. Not that you're wrong, but that your nervous system is trying to simplify something that is actually a little more complex, okay? We separate responsibility from regulation. Someone can be responsible for hurting you without needing to live rent-free in your nervous system. Holding someone accountable does not require constant mental replay. It does not. You can hold them accountable. You can put your boundaries up, then stop thinking about them. Oh, easier said than done. Believe me, I know. We interrupt the psychological loop, not the thought. We don't have to convince ourselves that they're a good person because they may not be. They might not be good people. They might do things because they're selfish, evil, rude, nasty, whatever word that you're thinking of right now. You do not have to forgive them. You can. I know a lot of people do. Forgive and forget. You don't have to forgive them, though. Sometimes the most effective move is just grounding your body, taking a breath, unclenching your jaw, dropping your shoulders, taking big breaths and relaxing so that your nervous system gets the message that you're safe. And finally, we have to remind ourselves, focusing on them is not protecting ourselves. At some point, the fixation stops being about justice and starts being about habit. Think about that. If you wake up every day and they're the first person you think of and you're immediately mad at them, it's a habit. Now, of course, if they keep doing things over and over again, that's a whole nother episode. They're just hurting you and taking advantage. We'll talk about that at another time. Don't let that happen. Set your boundaries. Do what you can. Stay safe. You're allowed to move on, even if they never apologized. You're also allowed to forgive them, even if they never apologized. You're also allowed to have peace, even if they were wrong. You can still have peace. You're allowed to stop letting this one person ruin your day, your week, your month, your year, whatever it is. And you're allowed to start putting your health first. Healing doesn't really mean pretending it didn't matter. It's not pretending that they were mean. That's not what healing is. Healing is for yourself. It's deciding they don't get to control you anymore. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next time.